we will just give you all a moment to get logged on. Make sure you've got your space ready. So in terms of space today, you're not going to need any special equipment, just a little bit of comfortable space on the floor and room to move your limbs in all directions. We will be getting up and down off the floor, so if you want to have a chair or a piece of furniture nearby just to help you, then make sure that that's there. If you're exercising alone, it's a good idea to have a method of communication nearby, so perhaps have your phone handy just in case you need to reach out for any help. During any of the movements that we do today, if you experience any pain or discomfort, then I want you to make sure that you either stop or modify to something that suits you a little bit better. And if you feel unwell, then make sure that you stop. Okay, we'll get started and we'll just start off with a nice gentle kind of mobility, flow and loosen off to prepare our bodies for some of the deeper stretches that we're going to do when we're down on the floor. It's a top to toe stretch, so if you can start with your hands onto hips for me, feet just a little bit about hip width apart, and then if you bend at the ball of your foot on one foot and circle your ankle round. Good, we'll do 5 one way, and then we're going to change the direction of your circle now. Last 2, and then we can swap to the other foot. So we plant that foot firmly into the floor, come up on the toes on the other side and take a little wiggle round. Good. And then change direction. Fantastic. Planting the feet firmly, taking them just a little bit wider than hip width apart, bottom tucked underneath, let the arms hang down by your side and think about the weight of the arms pulling your shoulders away from your ears. And then we're going to slide one hand down the outside of your thigh. When you get to the end of your available range, come up, and then we'll swap to the other side. So just a nice easy in on each direction, on each side. Once you get to the end of the range, you come back up and over and come back up. One more to each side. Brilliant. Back into center. Palms face forward now. Spread your fingers out as wide as you can and then make your hands up into fists. Spread them out as wide as you can. Into fists. We'll do 3 more. Spread and scrunch. 2 more. And last one. Good. And then just give the arms a little bit of a loosen off. We'll go palms face forward again, but a little bit softer with the hands than we were before. Arms up and out to the side, and you stop at shoulder height. Good. Bend your elbows, fingertips behind your ears. Bring the elbows together in front of you. Look down towards the points of your elbows, and then open up. Come in. I want you to breathe in as you come forward. Breathe out as you go open. In as you come forward. Out as you go open. 3 more. Inhale, come forwards. Exhale, lift the breastbone. 2 more. And last one. Good. Then we can stretch the arms out to the side, lower them down, and another little jiggle for everything. Coming down on towards the mat now, so we're going to have 1 foot in front, 1 foot behind, so you're into this high kneel position. Ideally, we'll get you to tuck your toes underneath on the back foot. If that doesn't feel comfortable, then you can have the foot flat, but do try and put some weight through this back leg, because if you've got it all on the knee, it's going to be a little bit tricky, a little bit wobbly. So if you put some more weight through the back of the foot or through the back of the leg, it's just going to give you that nice firm base. We're going to start with some rotation. So with the arm on the same side as your back leg, what I'd like you to do is twist it round to the back, and you're going to look at that hand behind you. Good. And then you bring it round and through. Now, that arm that you've just been using, cross it over onto your front leg. The arm that's on the same side as your front leg, we're going to take that round to the back. And we come through. That hand goes on the knee, and we keep that pattern going. So we're just going to float each arm round to the back. twist, and through, twist, and through. We want the weight over your back leg, so ear, shoulder, hip, knee, in line on that back foot. Twist and open, round and through. Twist and open, round and through. Let's just go one more to each side. Good. Now, while we've got this front foot where it is, let's leave that there. Both hands are going to come down onto the floor so that they're now resting on the inside of your front leg. And I'm going to try and keep my arm and leg as close together as I can to give me a little bit of fix. Weight through that back leg to give you, again, a little bit more support, but you're then going to lift your arm up to the ceiling and come back down. Good. Let's go 4 more of those. So we float the arm up, look up to that top hand, and come back down. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Good stuff. Okay, now we come up. We're going to swap legs. So that one is going to go behind. We bring that one in front. I'm going to tuck my toes underneath. If that's possible for you, do the same. And then keeping your bottom tucked underneath, weight over this back foot. Arm on the same side as your back leg. We swoop it round and look to that hand. And then we're going to swap arms over, other way around, swoop, and back through. And we keep working through there. Getting a twist through the middle back. You might feel this around your hip, maybe around the front of the thigh. The stretch will find you. We'll just do a couple more. I really like the feel of this one. Okay, finish on this movement. Nice flowing stretch. And then we're going to come down into that twist. So hands on the floor, on the inside of that front foot. Brace the arm and leg together on the front side. And then you're going to sweep the arm up to the ceiling and then back down to the floor. Good. Breathe in, lift. Breathe out, lower. 3 more. 2 more. And our last one. Good. And then swing that front leg round. So you're coming into a kneeling position. And then if you're comfortable to do so, I want you to drop your bottom down to your heels. Reach both arms out in front of you. And let the head rest. Tuck down. Maybe forehead towards the mat. Just modify this to whatever suits you best. You can put a block between your bottom and heels if you want to bridge that gap. But we're trying to elongate through the spine. Maybe take a little rock. Great stuff. And then we unfold. And then we're going to swizzle you around until you're coming into a rest position. So lay on your back. If you want a little block or a pillow or a cushion to rest your head onto, you can. If you can try and get a relatively comfortable position where your shoulder blades can melt down in towards the floor. The ribs can just be heavy, like almost like we're sort of melting in towards the mat. And you feel your tailbone connecting to the floor. We're going to stretch out your glutes now, which are the muscles around the outside of the hip. And to do that, you pick one foot up and cross it over onto the other knee. So we're in this figure 4 position. Use your hand to push the top knee away. Now you might find that that gives you an adequate stretch around your hip, and if it does, that's great, you stay there. If you need to increase the stretch a little bit, you're going to keep that top knee out, but use the other hand to pick up the bottom leg and pull it in towards you, and then you'll feel a greater stretch around the outside of the thigh there. Can help to maybe just give a little rock from side to side. And if you find one spot where it feels a little bit tighter, then we're going to hold it there because we've already done some work to kind of loosen and mobilize. So now we can hold our stretches a little bit longer. So minimum of 15-second hold really. If we want to do these static stretches, I tend to prefer to think of it as just nice wide full breaths. So 3 or 4 wide full breaths. That should do us there for that side. So you're going to untangle the legs and get ready to get set for the same thing other way around. So foot onto the opposite knee. Push that top knee away. So you're happy there, you hold there. If you want to increase, you bring the bottom leg up and you pull in towards you. Again, maybe just a little rock from side to side. But once you've found a position where you've got a good stretch, a maximum stretch, we're going to hold there. 3 wide full breaths. Fantastic, good. And then a little bit more of a squeeze perhaps before we uncurl. You're then going to bring both knees in towards the chest, squeeze them in, and a little bit of a rock. Good stuff. Okay, popping the feet down onto the floor. We're going to think a little bit more about your hamstrings now, muscles at the back of the thigh. So to start off with, if you can just pick one leg up, link your fingers behind your thigh, and then let the thighs sort of rest into the arms. So rather than the arms pulling in towards your chest, you're going to extend the elbows, straighten out the elbows a little bit and sort of let that leg hang in the cradle. Pulling the toes up towards you, you then straighten the knee and release, come back down. We're going to straighten the knee, press the thigh into your hands, push the heel up to the ceiling, and release. We're going up again. We're going to hold this one for a little bit longer. So up we go, and we hold it. 3 full breaths. Lovely. Ease off and lower that foot back down. Okay, I'm ready to go and do the same on the other side. So you're going to pick up the thigh, link the fingers behind your thigh, and then let the leg push into your arms. So elbows are straightening out, fingers are locked, shoulder blades are melted into the floor. Toes pulled up towards you. You're going to straighten the knee, push the back of the thigh into your hands, and release. Let's do that again. Up you go, push and hold, heel up towards the ceiling. And release. 3rd time we go up, and we're going to stay there for our 3 wide full breaths. Holding up, and we hold. Last full breath. Good, lovely. Bend that knee, pop the foot back down to the floor. Don't know if we've got enough space here. My feet have ended up underneath my table, but I want you to take both legs outstretched, both arms overhead, and make yourself as long as you possibly can, furniture allowing. I didn't spread myself out very well here. Good, but once we're done with that one, we're going to come into a bent knee position again, coming over onto your side, and you can either rest your hand up onto your arm, like I'm showing you here. You can rest it using your upper arms, a little bit of a pillow, or you might indeed want to just grab a cushion or a pillow if you've got one nearby and that's more comfortable. We're not going to be here too long, but I'm going to show you a stretch for the front of your thigh. So you're going to pick up your knee, grab a hold of your ankle, your sock, back of your trouser leg, whatever you can get a hold of, as you then take the leg into this position here, where we're squeezing the heel towards the bottom and pushing the thigh backwards. If you just roll forwards ever so slightly, you might find that you get a slightly different stretch up the front of the thigh there, but that's where we're aiming for, your quads, the muscles at the front of the thigh. So a little lean forwards so you're not ending up there. Knee is parallel to the floor, maybe even just tucked down a little bit. And we've been in that hold there for a little while now. Good. So let's release and try that to the other side. So we're going to pop round, whoop, and the other way. So head resting onto the hand, or with your arm outstretched on a pillow. You're going to grab a hold of your ankle, trouser leg, sock, and then we take the leg backwards, heel towards the bottom, tipping the pelvis forward ever so slightly. Good. And squeezing inwards, thigh parallel to the floor, if anything angled down slightly. Let's hold it here for 2 big breaths. Squeeze in a little bit tighter if you can. Good, and then release. We're going to come onto our tummies now, resting up onto your forearms. Feet just a little bit wider than hip width apart with the toes tucked underneath. Straighten your knees out, push your pubic bone to the floor, and lift through the crown of the head. Push your forearms into the floor, pull your belly button to your back. So it's a nice extended arch, extended position for your lower back. Now, if you let the knees soften, let them relax back to the floor, you might be able to take that into a slightly bigger bend by extending your elbows. If you can, give it a try. If you prefer not to, you stay down on the forearms as long as your pubic bone is stretched into the floor, pushed into the floor. Then we're going to uncurl back to child's pose where we went before, tucking those knees underneath. And it's the opposite movement of what we've just done. So where we had an arched back before, we're going to curve into the lower back. Brilliant. Unfold. And we're going to do some more inner thigh stretches and stretches for the backs of your legs. So we're going to have one leg tucked in and one leg out to the side. Try and get both sit bones down towards the floor. If you can't do that, you can use a little block as I've got there. You can use a cushion, a pillow underneath your bottom, just to see if you can kind of square yourself off a little bit and get yourself settled in towards the mat or floor, whatever you're on. You're then going to reach towards the toes on one side. So at the moment, we're keeping breastbone forward, so facing forward to the screen and reaching to the side. You should probably feel that somewhere around your inner thigh. Get this top shoulder back. See if you can go a little bit further into that side stretch. Hold it there. Good, and then release. Now, from that forward facing position, we're going to twist the torso. So I want breastbone now pointing more in the direction of my big toe. Keeping a straight back, I'm going to slide my hands down towards my foot and ankle. You might be able to get a little bit further than I am. This is not a particularly big range of movement for me. So if you can get further, then do. But remember, we want to keep a straight back at this point. Hold it there. 2 more breaths to do it. Okay, and then we're going to change that to allow the spine to curl more. You should be able to get a little bit more reach for the curved spine. And we'll hold there for 2 more breaths. Brilliant, well done. Unfold, and then we're going to do the same to the other side. So if you can tuck that leg in, take the other one out stretched, and just take a minute to get yourself kind of squared off into the position. You might have one side that feels a bit easier to get into than the other. This one needs a little bit more maneuvering for me. And then we're going to keep the breastbone pointing forwards towards the screen, and you're going to side lean towards the toes or down towards the foot and ankle into that side lean, pushing the hips down in towards the floor, and we hold there 3 breaths. Good stuff. and then release. We're going to add in a little bit of a twist, so it'll change the feeling of the stretch slightly. We're pointing the breastbone towards your big toe, but going with a straight back, leaning forwards. And this is where I don't have a lot of movement really. So I need to breathe into this, and I want you to do the same. Breathe into your stretch. And with each breath out, just see if there is a little bit more movement to be gained. Fantastic. Now we're going to stay in that position, but allow the spine to curl a little bit as you then again reach forwards towards your foot, ankle, toes, whatever you can get to. Let's just hold this one for 2 breaths. Breathing into your stretch. Good stuff. Unfold, and then we're going to come into a little frog stretch, which is soles of the feet together, letting the knees drop open, and the more you can walk your heels towards your bottom or bottom towards the heels, that's going to deepen the stretch slightly. This doesn't feel comfortable for everyone, so if it's no good for you, please don't worry. We will very shortly be all going up into standing, which we're going to do now. So if you have been in that froggy stretch, unfold and come up to standing. Make your way carefully up and just give everything a little bit of a loosen off, and then find yourself in a nice strong stance. So I want you to think about equal weight through the base of the big toe, the base of the little toe and the heel, with your tailbone just gently tucked underneath. We're going to go into some roll downs. So that's chin to chest, rounding the shoulders, allowing the upper back to curve, the middle back, the lower back, lengthening and reaching to the toes, lifting the tailbone up to the ceiling. Take a deep breath in at the bottom of the movement here. And then breathe out. We're going to unfold. Keep the head and arms heavy. Keep them floppy. Roll through until the chest comes open, shoulders are down. Do that again. Inhale at the top. Exhale forward, chin to chest, round, curl, lengthen and reach. Breathe in as you lift the tailbone up to the ceiling. Breathe out as you unfold, rounding the shoulders, chest open. Third and final time, deep breath in. Breathe out, fold through. Equal weight, big toe, little toe, heel. Tailbone up to the ceiling before you uncurl. All the way up. Roll the shoulders open, lift up through the crown of the head. Ground your feet to the mat. And that is your Monday morning stretch and mobility routine complete. So we went through a whole body stretch all the way from the feet up and then pretty much back down again. So I hope that you found that useful. If you haven't already done a like and a subscribe, then please do. And we'll be back next Monday at 10 a.m. for a stretch class live. And then I will, of course, upload all of our routines so that you can watch again or catch up whenever suits you. Okay, enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.